Everybody, Crypto Trader Vader here, and wanted to do a quick video on the top 5 coins that I think are going to go 10x, 10 times the current price in 2018. Of course, it's I'm never going to pick them all, and you know, this isn't legal advice, obviously, but I'd be interested to hear your thoughts about these 5 coins and whether you're going to, you know, you're already invested potentially, or whether maybe you're going to be investing. Just check to make sure the stream's working, which it is. So hey, I was just looking at the Bitcoin price before starting this. So let's get into it. The first coin that I think is going to go 10x is QCOIN shares. Now, if you're not familiar with what QCOIN is a cryptocurrency exchange like Poloniex or Binance or one of those other ones, and so it has a whole bunch of coins that you can kind of trade for Bitcoin, and I think they use a couple of different markets as well. So they'll pair up with QCOIN shares, obviously, and I think Ethereum as well. QCOIN shares, though, are unique because what you're essentially buying is, with a QCOIN share, is you're buying a percentage of the profits that QCOIN actually makes from trading fees on that exchange. So not only is it a good exchange to use for trading, but if you have QCOIN shares, you actually get a bit of money back every single day, which is, yeah, super awesome. I went and bought some and noticed straight away that I was getting some. Here, I'll show you. So I bought just a handful of them, about 0.1. It's gone up a little bit since then, about 268, maybe 2 days ago or so, and you can already see that I'm just starting to passively accumulate very small amounts of coins. And the best thing is that because QCOIN actually collects the fees in whatever currency is being traded, for example, Deep Brain Chain, for example, what they do is they divide the amount of fees that they get in half, and half of the fees go to shareholders and half go to either the company or referrals and other ways of distributing that money. But the great thing is that the money that you're actually getting from the QCOIN shares is in a variety of different coins, and so it's very small amounts, but it's completely passive. I'm not doing anything. I'm not actively trading that money. I'm not risking anything. I've just got it. I mean, obviously I'm risking having the money sitting on an exchange, but yeah, I'm not having to gamble with that money through some sort of trading method. And I'm getting a free service of basically diversifying all of the money that I get into a variety of these different cryptocurrencies. So I'm going to be looking at probably buying a whole bunch more of these as well. If we have a look at the exchange QCOIN there, it's number 23, but as you can see, Binance is at the top. This is comparing all the exchanges comparing all the exchanges volume-wise, and we scroll all the way down here to QCOIN. We can see that the volume is around 149 million in a 24-hour period. I imagine that as people refer their friends onto QCOIN, maybe people watch videos like this and jump onto QCOIN and buy QCOIN shares, I think this number is going to increase, and that means, of course, that everyone's profits are going to be increasing because those profits are paid out to QCOIN shareholders. So that's the first one. And I think the price of QCOIN shares, although it has spiked recently, I'm hoping it stays around this point so I can have some time to buy some more before it continues upwards. $7 at the moment. 10x would put that at around $70, which would be crazy. The second coin that I think is going to go 10x in 2018 is Monero. Now, Monero, if you've watched any of my other technical analysis videos, you probably know I'm already a fan of Monero. Monero is a private coin. It's fully fungible, meaning that it can't, it's completely anonymous. It's also already doing what it's promising. There's a lot of coins out there that are, you know, promising to do big things in the future, and a couple of those coins are on this list. But if you look at both QCOIN shares and Monero, both are already doing what they're promising. QCOIN shares is promising to pay out these dividends, which it's already doing, and Monero is promising to be this anonymous cryptocurrency, which it's already doing. So I think there's something unique to coins that are already delivering on what they promise, especially in a sea of ICOs that are, you know, failing to deliver on their roadmaps and leaving people disappointed. Monero is not one of those, and 10x would put it at about $4,000 US, which you might think is a little steep, but there was a time that Bitcoin was, you know, $400, and that was, it was ridiculous to think that Bitcoin could possibly be worth $4,000. So I think the Monero is the anonymous Bitcoin. When people first, well, when I first discovered Bitcoin, I thought, oh, this anonymous currency, this is great. But of course, Bitcoin isn't anonymous. It's pseudonymous. So there are ways that you can kind of track the owners of these Bitcoins. Plus, there's rich lists, you know, that's showing which wallets have the most Bitcoins in it. You don't have any of that with Monero. You're completely blind to what others have. You know what you have, and that makes it anonymous. That makes it a powerful tool as well. The next coin, number 3, is along those very same lines, and they're not all privacy coins. So if you're at number 3 and you're thinking, oh, you know, this is just the same old list, it's not. SumoKoin, though, is a very small cap coin at the moment. It's only 16 mil, which is really low, considering what I think it could do. It had a huge pump recently, and it's kind of come back down to these good levels where I'm considering buying some more up. It's also something that's still viable to mine with just a CPU or a GPU. So if you're interested in mining at all, it's a great coin to pick up and mine. You can still mine whole ones, and there's not a huge circulating supply. But the interesting thing about SumoKoin is that it's very, very similar to Monero. In fact, so similar that I'd pretty much call them the same, except that it's a lot cheaper. And of course, you've got the anonymous rings confidential transactions. It's always good to back a couple of different coins if it has something that you think is going to be good in the future. I think that 2018, these privacy coins are going to have very big years, and that means that Monero, Zcash, even Dash to a certain point is going to have, they're going to have really, really good years. So it's good to back a couple of different horses if you want to be betting on that race, because you never know which one's going to come out on top, and it's always good to kind of diversify your risk a little bit. So the next coin number 4 on the list, is a coin that's not very well known. It's called Privatix. I bought this coin during the ICO stage, when it was probably the equivalent of about $2 or so during the ICO. So it has gone up in value since then. But Privatix is essentially vying for this decentralized VPN space, which is really interesting, and I think is going to have be a big play in 2018. Privatix is one of 2 coins, I think, that there's probably more. So you know, let me know in the comments if there's other coins that I'm missing out. But Privatix and Mysterium are the main 2 vying for this decentralized VPN position. And again, I think it's good to back a couple of horses, so you might want to buy some Mysterium tokens as well. But the reason that I'm going for Privatix is that Privatix already has a viable user base. So Privatix in the past, for the last 5 years or so, has cultivated a user base of about 750,000 users that are using their free VPN service. So their VPN service is not currently decentralized, but they've already got this user base using the VPN service, and now as they're working at decentralizing the VPN, you know, they've already got this huge user base that they can leverage off of. Mysterium doesn't have that, and so I think that head to head, Privatix is probably the better option. Although, again, if you're going to make a play and you think something's important, then it might be worthwhile jumping on both and backing both horses, so to speak. So that's Privatix. And you can check out, I think it's privatix.io if you want to read more about it. The fifth and final one is another relatively new coin called DragonChain. Now, DragonChain kind of looks a little bit silly. It's a dragon, their icon. It's called DragonChain. It's a little bit kind of a fun name. Makes me think that it's a bit of a novelty coin when I first saw it, but it's actually a competitor for Ethereum. And Ethereum, of course, is second on the market cap list and absolutely huge for decentralized applications and other smart contracts. DragonChain is wanting to be a major competitor to Ethereum, but the big difference there is that they're backed by Disney. So it's actually the Disney company's own blockchain solution. Now, that kind of answers the question for me as to why it's got such a silly kind of fun name. But DragonChain is the Disney Ethereum. It's the Disney-backed Ethereum, which is gonna be huge, I think. And this could easily go 10x, get to what, $25 a piece, no problem, no problem. Probably be more than that. If something's backed or run by a big company, it means that there's a big marketing budget, and that means that a lot of people are going to be able to know about DragonChain and what it can do, and it means that Disney can employ a variety of different tactics to get DragonChain out there. So I like to think of it as, early stage Ethereum, but with a big marketing budget. So that's number 5 on the top 5 coins that I think could go 10x in 2018. If there's any that I missed there, or if there's any facts that you want me to clarify about these, chuck a comment down there, and yeah, and I'll be sure to answer them. It's a small channel, so I read and reply to every comment I get. And if you're sticking around, you got nothing else to do, then I'm going to go live in probably another 5 minutes or so with some technical analysis journal to go through the usual array of about 35 coins or so and analyze them all. So if you want to stick around for that, that'd be awesome. Otherwise, I bid you adieu. Thank you very much. Ciao.